Like every morning, children reach school from their home, sometimes walking several kilometers. It is not just important that children attend school, how and what they learn is just as important. Even before the current political crisis in Afghanistan, the population averaged only 3.2 years of schooling. Among those in schools, girls, ethnic minorities, children with disabilities, and those from rural and low-income families are at particular risk of mental health problems and other negative consequences, including school dropout, early marriage or pregnancy, displacement, child labor, and poor health. In 2018, Norwegian Afghanistankomiteen, together with Swedish Committee for Afghanistan and Washington University in St. Louis, started a 4-year program looking at improving child learning experience and performance in rural primary schools of Afghanistan. We use participatory methods in which children, but also teachers, parents, and school management committees would meet with NEC and STA facilitators for day-long workshops in which they would establish a map of classroom system. Then, mapping of the school learning process shows how factors influence learning positively or negatively. From the workshops, students, teachers, parents decide together what to do to improve learning, particularly for girls. Learning effectively is essential to justify keeping girls in school for parents. Children would vote first for the best action plan and the best action ideas to implement to make sure they are heard. Often children know what's best for themselves. Action ideas included initiatives as different as constructing classrooms, playgrounds, libraries, boundary walls to protect children from intruders, but also books and shelves for the library, organizing parents-teachers meetings, establishing jointly classroom rules and regulations, organizing monthly parents' visit to see the children's projects. These are all actions deemed essential to improve learning in a given school. NEC and SCA would provide the material for construction and an engineer would provide the design. The school communities would participate by providing the land and the labor to make sure they take ownership and responsibility for their choice. Too many projects are not seriously implemented and maintained because the community did not get fully involved. In all schools, NEC or SCA facilitators also train teachers, children, and for some sessions invited parents on child-centered pedagogy. It's remarkable that 8 to 11 years old children were able to draw the school systems, present projects as different as the solar system, village environmental issues such as water pollution or trash, or the rule of the police station in front of the whole village. Students learned this way the whole curriculum. Children have seen their life skills such as critical thinking, solving problems, defending their ideas in public, communicating them to others with clarity, but also resilience, self-confidence, and self-esteem strengthen. Of course, reading, writing, and counting improved much as well. And overall, children thrived and were happy with the whole process. Very striking for all was the self-confidence children demonstrated during large meeting with representative of the local assembly or village shura, composed exclusively of older, mostly illiterate men, children, particularly girls, would explain their projects. The new generation can effectively voice their views in front of the local readership. The sense of pride was high for all creating a virtuous circle in favor of education for all children. Self-esteem and self-confidence of all children improved. Pride of the students to showcase their work, pride of the teachers of their students' achievements, and the pride of the parents seeing such self-confidence and knowledge in their children. We promoted children's knowledge and self-confidence. We improved the leadership of the local community. We used local material. We shouldered the costs together. This was a success. We need to continue to support education in a crisis context, where 20 years of progress are suddenly threatened. Unemployment is on the rise. Women are excluded from the public sphere. The stressors of food insecurity are taking a toll on the entire country. Most children in Afghanistan are in crisis and at risk of losing access to education and facing violence and abuse. Children in crisis also bear a disproportionately high burden of mental health problems, including post-traumatic stress disorders and anxiety and depression. NAC and its partners will help mitigate the current mental health crisis in Afghanistan. We will strengthen resilience through a school program. This program will be implemented in 500 schools across the country, with a total of 7,000 students, half of girls. The program will involve engaging children, parents, teachers, and school management committees in learning to be resilient, training teachers to help children flourish, train parents to be present and supportive for their children. We have looked at how we engaged with children to improve the learning experience and with teachers to improve pedagogy. We also involved parents because we know how important their support is to the learning process. Engaging with the school teachers, parents, students, school management committees created a strong dynamic of improving learning for children, and this worked well. It is more important than ever to continue this work to help even more people.